Not all channels are equal. Some make drastically more money per thousand views because they do a few things differently that cause them to earn anywhere from 2 to 100 times more than average. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Everything they're doing to earn tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, you can do too. They're all things I've helped my clients with to generate over 300 million long form views and millions of dollars in revenue. The first thing is something every creator should do immediately, as it's the simplest to optimize and the fastest way to increase your revenue. AdSense is your cut of the revenue from the ads that play at the beginning, middle, and end of your video, and it can earn you anywhere from $1 to $30 per thousand views. There are two terms I'm going to be mentioning here that you may not know the meaning of: RPM and CPM. CPM is cost per meal, which means cost per thousand. It's the amount that advertisers pay YouTube per 1,000 people that see its advertisements. RPM is revenue per meal, which is the revenue you earn for every 1,000 people that view your content. It generally equates to around 55% of CPM, which is the cut that YouTube pays creators. Now, there are three things you need to do to maximize your AdSense revenue. The first is manual ad placement. When you make a video that's 8 minutes or longer, YouTube will place mid-roll ads in it. Then on YouTube Studio, you can go to the Monetization tab on your video and click on Manage Ad Slots. Once there, you can manually place an ad slot every minute or two, but the key here is to place them just after cliffhanger moments. That way, you're less likely to lose viewers when ads play, as you've established a new payoff that they want to stick around for. Don't worry as well if it feels like you've placed a lot of ads in your video. YouTube generally won't show an ad more than once every 2 minutes, and sometimes even longer if it feels it'll drastically hurt the retention of the video. All you're doing is optimizing placements in the video and giving YouTube more prime opportunities to serve ads, and more ads served equals more money. This small change can often result in an immediate 10% boost in revenue. But that isn't the only way you can get more ads served in your content. As you may have guessed, making longer videos can result in more ads served and more revenue, but it's not that simple. What actually matters more than video length is AVD, or average view duration. You can make a longer video, but if people aren't watching it for longer on average than your other videos, you won't see an increase in RPM, and likely your video won't do as well in the algorithm, which will lead to it making less revenue overall. So to effectively increase your video length and AVD, you need to do a few things. Your chosen video idea and format need to have a clear end destination for the viewer. This could be a main event in a story, a challenge result, or a decision that you build towards throughout the video. Your hook then needs to confirm this end destination in a way that makes the viewers interested to see it. The video then needs to progress to the end destination in a way that doesn't make it feel like it's dragging for the viewer. You do this through outlining the story beats of your video and then making sure you have open loop transitions between each beat to keep viewers hooked for what's coming up next. Now, the last thing you need to do to maximize your AdSense can have the largest impact. We've seen clients 4x their revenue at this, but it takes a slightly deeper understanding of how AdSense pricing works. How much an advertiser is willing to pay YouTube and therefore you to show their ads is down to competition level and what their expected return on investment is. Competition is how many advertisers are competing to advertise to a particular audience. More competition for those slots means a higher RPM for you. The expected return is affected by two factors. The first is what their customer lifetime value is. If they stand to make a lot of money off of acquiring that customer, then they're willing to pay more to try to get them. An example would be a bank advertising a mortgage. If they get someone, they stand to make a lot of money on the mortgage and potentially other products like accounts and credit cards. That's why finance content tends to have a higher RPM of around $10 to $25 per thousand views. The second factor is audience alignment. A high value audience is one that's watching content that signals interest in the advertiser's products and has the money to spend on the products. So how do you use this information to increase your RPM? If you're just starting out, you want to choose a niche with high earning potential due to its audience alignment with high value products and its potential for views. Generally, you want to strike a balance between the two to see the highest earning potential. I actually created a list of niches with their RPM ranges and view potential. You can get it for free to determine the best niches to start your channel in. Just check the link in the description. But what about more established channels? You want to focus more on your audience composition. Advertisers pay more for audiences that have more buying power. This means you want to take a look at your audience data and see how much percentage of it is made up of countries with high buying power. The US being the biggest one, but also the following countries I'm showing on my screen. And feel free to take a screenshot of it if you need to. You want these countries to make up at least 60% of your audience, but the more the better. You do this through topic and idea selection that's more likely to resonate with viewers in these countries. One of the great ways to do this is to take a look at topics in Google Trends, as you can see worldwide interest and in which countries the topic is most popular. Just make sure you're looking at it on their classic Explore view so you're able to see the regional data. Optimizing your AdSense is a great way to increase your base earnings per 1,000 views on your channel, but it's really only scratching the surface. The real money to be made comes with the next two things you can optimize. The second optimization can earn you anywhere from an additional $20 to $100 per 1,000 views, and sometimes even more. What I'm talking about is direct sponsorships, and there's a few ways that you can earn more from these sponsors and get them more frequently. There's also an additional tip when it comes to integrating them that I'll share with you at the end. One of the keys here again is audience alignment, but it functions a little differently here. If your audience and what they watch your videos for is very closely aligned with the product or service and the customer would be worth a lot to them, you can charge higher rates. Typically, sponsorship deals start around $20 per 1,000 views. This is where there's less audience alignment and they're just looking to reach certain demographics. I won't name names, but this is often what a lot of brands you've probably heard of that let you watch Netflix in other countries tend to pay. But if you get a sponsor that really wants your audience, that number can often double, triple, or more. Oftentimes, these sponsors won't just come knocking at your door though. The best way to get them is to do your own outreach or work with an agency that helps creators get sponsors. If you're doing your own outreach, you can use AI to get you a preliminary list of companies that may be a good fit, and then you can find outreach details by looking for marketing employees on LinkedIn. You can get their emails by using certain extensions, or oftentimes you can just guess it because a lot of company emails follow similar formats. Secondly, you want to make sure that you price based on effort. The lowest rates are for 60-second integrations that happen within the first few minutes of the video, where they provide a lot of the B-roll assets. If you need to go somewhere to film for the integration, create your own B-roll assets, do a longer segment, or create a dedicated video, the price should scale accordingly. The last thing is key for both repeat deals and negotiating higher ones, and it's how you integrate the sponsor. You need to make sure that right before you have the sponsor segment, you rehook the audience with something else coming up and then seamlessly transition into the integration. As an example, this is how it might look in this video, but before I show you that example, one of the crucial things you need when doing sponsorship outreach is actually a CRM, which is why this video is brought to you by, just kidding. Now what I did there was use this as my rehook, as now you're interested to see what the example is. And then this is a seamless transition that's initially relevant to what we're talking about, but then it slips into the integration. This is all meant to help increase the amount of people that watch the integration and decrease the amount of people that just leave the video by instead making them skip to see the payoff that you promised before the integration. This makes sure your views don't suffer as much from the integration. In addition to it helping the performance of the integration, which should increase your chances at getting repeat deals with the advertiser, you can then also make case studies that highlight the strong performance data to help you with negotiating higher rates. And regarding that tip I mentioned earlier, when you're manually placing your AdSense ads, you want to treat a sponsor segment as an ad within your video. So make sure you don't place anything within 2 minutes of either side of it. Otherwise, you could end up with two ads close together, which could cause people to leave your video and hurt its performance. The last thing to optimize has the most earning potential by far and can earn you hundreds of dollars per 1,000 views and sometimes even more. It's having something you can sell directly yourself, but there's a few things to keep in mind so you make money instead of just wasting your time. The first thing is a trap a lot of people fall into. Your content's getting a lot of views, you see other creators making a good amount of money selling a specific product or service, so you decide you're going to try to sell it as well. Even if just a small fraction of your audience bites, you're going to print money and you can taste it. So you build out the product and start plugging it on your channel. But after a month or two goes by, no one's bought it. And this is actually a situation a client came to us with. The reason this was happening was because what they were selling was very different to why anyone chose to watch their videos. Whatever product you choose to sell, you need to make sure it's as close a match as possible to your brand and what viewers come to you for. Otherwise, you'll just end up wasting a ton of time and money on something that won't sell. Additionally, you can gauge interest in a low-cost way by setting up a landing page that gets waitlist signups. You can then also reach out to people that waitlisted to learn more about why they signed up, which can help you guide the product development. But market fit is far from the only consideration when figuring out a product to sell to your audience. This is something that can drastically affect how profitable it is, and it's something that's seen in a lot of businesses, especially ones in early stages. Back in 2008, a little-known car manufacturer at the time released this, a two-seater electric roadster with a price equivalent to about $151,000 today. The initial success of the Tesla Roadster helped to fund the production of the premium but slightly more mass-market Model S and Model X, which in turn helped to fund the even more mass-market Model 3 and Model Y. What can be learned from this is Tesla and other companies like Sonos and Dyson started with a premium flagship product. The higher margin on these products generated revenue that they could use to fund the development of more mass market products, develop their brand, and ultimately continue to expand their business. The same can be applied to YouTube. You start with a higher ticket product or service since you don't need as many sales to generate meaningful revenue. Then you can use your revenue, your learnings about your ideal customer, product reviews, and your increased brand profile to develop and sell more mass market products.